I want to make music that people can relate to. I want to express myself and be heard. I want to perform and travel the world. I want to inspire people. I just want to blow up. 9 times out of 10, these are the types of answers that I get when asking new artists about their music industry goals. Well-intentioned, but vague and never clearly describing the day at which they can say, I'm successful. Society often equates success with the superficial side of wealth. A walk-in closet full of expensive clothes, a garage housing a few luxury cars, and houses that require a car to get from one side to the other. And while attainable if that's the lifestyle you want, that version of success doesn't speak for everyone. At our core, all anyone wants is to be happy, and material possessions have very little to do with experiencing true fulfillment, genuine satisfaction, and real happiness. If you don't take the time to understand what a fulfilling life looks like for you, you have no choice but to surrender to society's definition, forcing you to pursue a life that you might not even want because that's all you know, opening you up to the possibility of needless disappointment and frustration when you don't achieve it. In today's video, I'll be sharing the exercise that I use to help me define what success means to me inside and outside of the studio, breaking down how I determine the point at which I can say I'm successful and, more importantly, I'm happy.
Take a leap of faith, they say how far down, take it all the way, they say what's too proud, I don't know, too close from where I need to be, too far to turn back now.
If you haven't seen my face before or watched any of my older videos, I'm Jeff Diggs, head of artist development for Double M Studios. Although my time in artist development is comparatively brief, my experience in playing every position there is to play in the studio, including releasing my own music, has given me a deeper understanding of what works when connecting an artist with their audience. My job at the studio is to guide artists just like you from your current situation to your desired goal, with as few mistakes as possible while still embracing the lessons I learned through my years of trial and error. Let's jump into it. I have friends who've won Grammys, traveled the world, sell out shows, and work with some of the biggest artists of our generation. I also have friends who haven't won any awards, stay at home, rarely perform, and often create music on their own. Both friend groups either make music full-time or earn a significant portion of their yearly income from music. Although they lead completely different lives, I'm sure if I asked each of them if they were happy in their current situation, the answer would be a positive one. I know they've thought very carefully about what they wanted their life to be before making it their reality. They each considered their do's and don'ts, needs, wants, what they are willing to compromise on, and their non-negotiables, those things they're unwilling to sacrifice. Just 40 years ago, there wasn't as much lifestyle diversity as there is today. Despite a few rebels and outliers, in the grand scheme of things, most people grew up normal, with a clear-cut blueprint on how to go about life. They went through the school system, sought higher education, got a job, started a family, and in most cases lived life similar to how their parents did. That was a life well lived and what most people would deem successful for that time. Today, there is no blueprint. When a kid says they want to sit in their room and play video games or turn on a camera and talk to it for a living, that's a real possibility now. You have millions of examples and variations of how to live your life thrown in your face every second of every day. When there were fewer decisions to make, life was simple and people were generally content. Now, life is as complex as ever and people are generally confused. Those who continue to live in the past face a reality where a degree doesn't guarantee employment. And even if they currently have a job, the likelihood of keeping it is constantly being threatened. Amid this confusion, we tend to look at other people who give the impression that they figured life out. Those who have lives that best match modern day society's definition of what a successful life looks like. And that's the problem. Not with the way these individuals live, but how we're so eager to live their lives rather than designing our own. The reason you may feel like your music career isn't progressing is likely because you haven't clearly defined what you're doing it for beyond basic enjoyment and personal therapy. You don't actually know how you want it to change your life. Without a clear goal, you're just going to end up making decisions based on someone else's definition of success, hoping that their standards will bring you happiness. If this is you, hear me when I say it never will. But fixing this problem is a lot easier than you might think. When you're ready, go ahead and download the purpose clarification worksheet available in the description, and let's go over the solution. What is your purpose? Why are you here? Not just why are you making music, but why do you, deep down in your heart, why do you believe that you've been put here on earth? Aligning your life's purpose with your natural musical talent makes it easier to navigate the industry and life in general. It allows you to set goals and milestones that actually matter, limits distractions, and eliminates the chances of you working aimlessly, serving someone else's purpose rather than your own. I believe that I'm here to create judgment-free spaces for honest conversations, allowing people to discover and explore their true selves. And through this work, I hope to foster a deeper sense of self, encourage personal growth, and inspire people to live more authentic and fulfilling lives. I didn't understand this at the beginning of my career. It became clear to me over time through extensive self-reflection, trial and error, and a determination to keep searching until I found the most undeniable answer I could. Now that I know why I'm here, I can better decipher right from wrong when it comes to offers, deals, collaborations, funding, and other aspects of the industry. If something doesn't align with my reason for being here, I simply don't do it. I don't consider it when I'm thinking about how to move forward in whatever matter it may be. Now, just for fun, let's imagine that there is no grand purpose for being here for those who don't believe in divine alignment, destiny, things of that nature. Consider it this way. When it comes down to it, my why is what motivates me to get up in the morning. It brings me genuine joy to be a safe space for people and to help them become safe spaces for others through their art. The brain fog and indecisiveness about your next move can all be fixed by simply understanding why you're moving. Purpose is the solution to indecision, as well as the key to getting anywhere you want in this life. So now let's actually get into the exercise. Step 1, self-reflection. Take a deep look inward. Write down moments where you felt most alive, fulfilled, or aligned with something greater than yourself. For the sake of time, I'm just going to use my answers to give you an idea of what you're supposed to be looking for. A time when I felt fully alive was when I decided to drop out of traditional college. It was the first time I followed my intuition and took a life-altering chance on myself. A time when I felt proud of myself was when I locked myself in the studio for about 3 days, learning the ins and outs of recording and mixing music. It showed me how dedicated I was to my craft and reminded me that I can achieve anything I set my mind to as long as I work for it. I was proud of how I didn't let my lack of resources at the time keep me from moving forward. I can think of 2 significant times when I felt connected to something greater than myself. One of these experiences was when I worked at a soup kitchen with my aunt. In that environment, my ego was completely set aside, allowing me to embrace a state of selflessness and humility. Although I was young and had very little of my own, I realized that I didn't need much to make an impact on somebody else's life. Even the simple act of sharing a conversation or providing a warm meal felt meaningful. My first lesson about real value. And your answers don't have to be super drawn out. Just clear, concise, and something that you can refer to when making decisions about your career. All we're trying to do here is pinpoint the reason for doing what we're doing. Step 2, identify core values. What values do you hold most sacred? Freedom? Is it love, creativity, service? Your purpose is often tied to living in alignment with these values. For me, my top values are purpose, freedom, neutrality, family, and knowledge. Again, this means that anything that comes across my table that doesn't align with these core values is probably something I shouldn't get myself into. Step 3, natural gifts and passions. List your natural talents and passions. Ask yourself, what activities make me lose track of time? Your gifts are often clues to how you're meant to serve the world. My natural gifts are altruism and writing. My passions are writing and helping or seeing other people reach their full potential. Time flies when I'm having good conversation or in nature. Step 4, service to others. Purpose is rarely about the self alone. Reflect on how your gifts and passions can serve others. The people I feel called to help are artists who have talent but lack vulnerability in their art. My mission is to create judgment-free spaces for these individuals, allowing them to discover and explore their true selves so they can do the same for others. The problems I can't ignore are our modern perception of value, our lack of social awareness, our ignorance of other people, and weak desire for true fulfillment. My gifts can help others by reminding them what life is about, instilling holistic principles and showing others how to live more authentically so they too can find their purpose in true fulfillment. You'll notice a lot of repetition too, and that's good. That's not necessarily being lazy or you can't think of anything else. When things repeat or sound the same, or you're saying the same thing over and over, it just means you're getting closer to your overall purpose. Step 5, vision of your life. Imagine your ideal future where you're fully living your purpose. Write it as if it already exists. In 10 years, I'll be thriving in all aspects of my existence. I'll be with my wife, my kids, and my extended family. I'll be doing what I'm doing right now with more stability, more people, and more resources. People will say I'm living intentionally. Step 6, final reflection. Put it all together. Based on your reflections, write a purpose statement that captures your reason for being. This should feel inspiring, true to you, and something you dedicate your life to. My purpose is to use my altruism in writing to create judgment-free spaces for honest conversations so that artists and people can gain clarity on why they are here, share that reason through their art or otherwise, and start to live more authentic and fulfilling lives. When everything that you wrote in your purpose statement is your reality, that is the point when you can say you are successful. And by default, by serving your purpose successfully, I guarantee you'll be happy. Imagine how foggy and confusing this industry can be when you don't know your end goals. Unfortunately, this is the reality for many newer artists as well as some established ones. They all wanted to make it and be successful, but often failed to clarify what they meant before diving in. As a result, many musicians we admire have faced serious challenges, including the need for therapy or counseling, prolonged legal battles with business partners who didn't have their best interests at heart, or in some tragic cases, drug overdoses because they couldn't bear the pressure of pretending to live a life they didn't choose. In conclusion, true success is a state of being that you have consciously chosen. It is not defined by a specific status, net worth, clothing brand, or material possession. Instead, it reflects a quality of life that you have designed for yourself in alignment with your purpose. If you found anything that I talked about helpful or useful in your own journey, please leave a comment letting us know what you learned and let us know what we could expand on in a future video. Don't forget to download the free Find Your Purpose guide below. And if you want a complete comprehensive guide showing you how I personally build a strong artist foundation top to bottom, get my artist development book Audience also in the description. Feel free to reach out or connect with me on all social platforms under Jeff Diggs Jr. And be sure to follow the studio on all social platforms under Double M Studios.
Take a leap of faith, they say how far down. Take it all the way, they say what's too proud, I don't know. Too close from where I need to be. Too far to turn back now.